everybody, Z Garcia here, and today I'm taking a look at the expansion to Atlantis Rising. This is called Monstrosities. It's a large box expansion, and it is a modular expansion. You will get several different parts, basically, and you can mix and match, throw whichever ones you want in there. You will have various different baddies you can play up against, but there's also new characters that you can play in the game. There's new cards that let you modify the various decks up and down, the difficulty, mess around with the composition of the moving parts in the game to ideally adapt it to be whatever you want the game to be. I'm going to go ahead and show you some of those moving parts. I'm not going to be explaining how the game itself works. And hopefully that'll give you an idea of what's going on, what comes in the box. We'll come on back after that. I'll give you some thoughts on what I think of the different parts. The first module in the game is called Medusa Unleashed, and it is going to involve Medusa here. You're going to select a random peninsula and put her out at the outermost location, making sure she does not take up a spot, by the way. And then you are going to fill that spot with one of these petrification tokens and a volunteer that is petrified onto that spot. The players are going to play normally. What you are attempting to do is watch out for Medusa, because she's going to move around and petrify your Atlanteans, and also attempt to break the curse. You have to build the mirror and then confront Medusa, and when you do that, you are going to turn her from this nemesis into an ally, gaining this token and a special ability. But again, you have to build this and then confront her to do that. So every round, after all the players have decided where they're going, you are going to move Medusa randomly. You'll do that by rolling a die. So you assign each peninsula a number, you roll a die. Let's say it ends up moving on this one. And then you roll a second die to pick where. Let's say I roll whatever number I assign this, and then I'm saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, and I roll a 3. She goes there. Anybody who is there immediately becomes petrified, and they are inactive. If that tile is still petrified later on and washes away, all those characters go back to the supply. They are out, okay? If there's no one there to petrify, then she still petrifies the locations, and they are filled up. So she fills up spaces and sort of takes them over. And then the other players can, let's say there was a single character there who got petrified, you'd leave them there. In upcoming rounds, somebody can go there and spend mystic energy and get rid of this token and take them back immediately. So you can rescue these people, okay? So again, she's moving around randomly. The other option you can do is you can draw her gaze. If you go somewhere, you can say, I'm choosing to draw her gaze, and she will not move randomly. She is moving to where you said you were going to draw her gaze, and she'll petrify you and anyone else there. But you can do that tactically, of course, to make sure other people get to take their turns. So that is the Medusa Unleashed scenario in the game, trying to, well, keep your people alive and ready to take actions. The second scenario is the Harpies lair, in which you are going to have to contend with these Harpies stealing your stuff. So to set up the game, we are going to shuffle up these treasures here randomly, and we put one on the Harpies lair. The rest can go away. This tile here is a new worker placement spot. It takes 2 people to go there, and you can choose to go there and fight or steal. We'll come back to that. So the players are going to go through their worker placements. Of course, well, whatever. I'll just randomly put some characters out here. Then you're going to deploy the Harpies by rolling a die and again assigning a random number to each peninsula. If a Harpy goes to a peninsula and they come in from the farthest tile in, and there is absolutely no one on that peninsula, they go back to their lair. Nothing else happens with that one Harpy. If they come in and they find somebody, they are going to stop on that one, and they are going to steal something from that character. First, they try to steal a resource. Then they try to steal a library card if they have no resource. Then a mystic energy if they have neither of the first 2 things. And then if they have none of those things, they steal the Atlantean themselves and take them to the lair. Anything they steal, they take to the lair. And then if there are other Harpies in the same peninsula, they keep going in until they find somebody to steal something from or to steal them themselves, okay? So the other option, like I said, you can go here and you can steal or fight from the Harpies lair there. So if you choose to fight, you're going to roll your 2 yellow dice. You need a 12 plus, and you defeat a Harpy. If you choose to steal, you roll and you reclaim something based on what you got. You're going to get a +2 to your die, though, for each defeated Harpy and each stolen Atlantean. So you can reclaim some things or try to wipe them out. If you do indeed wipe them out, then you're going to get this bonus as well, where you flip this over and it tells you what you get. +1 ally. In this game, you have a stack of allies that come in the expansion box. So you could do that. You could gain one of these. The unicorn, the griffin, the phoenix, the golden ram. Any one of these allies, you could gain one of them. And like you saw, there's a few of these different ones. +5, 5 gold, 3 artifacts there, a ton of mystic energy, 1 magic item of the special magic items that come in the expansion, So you would steal one of these things and wipe them out, and they will no longer hassle you. So that is how the Harpies layer is going to work. The third and final scenario is this one between Skyla and Charybdis, and you are going to be using the monster player aid here, the 2 monsters, Skyla, Charybdis, and then the mermaid tile with the mermaid, and you're going to need these 9 red skies cards, which are good for you. So you are going to have to deal with these 2 monsters. Every round when the monster phase comes up after the disasters, you randomly pick one of the 2, and they are going to be deployed somewhere on the board. So Skyla goes between the 2 peninsulas that have the most Atlanteans. And then Charybdis goes between the 2 peninsulas that have the most unflooded tiles. They are each going to attempt to destroy that thing. So Skyla here tries to eat the Atlanteans, and the Charybdis token then would try to flood tiles, okay? If they're equidistant, it's going to try to flood both. If they are not, then whichever one has the most unflooded tiles. You can prevent this by paying mystic energy. 3, okay, for each you're trying to stop. If it's both, you can pay 3 and 3. This is the same, trying to eat people, and it'll try to eat up to 6, and you can prevent it from doing that by paying 1 mystic energy for each you want to stop. Now, the monsters will go away and be satisfied if this one tries to eat at least 6 after that, whether it does actually eat them and remove them from the game or not. If it tries to eat that many, it'll go away after that. And if it tries to sink 2 tiles, whether it succeeds or not, it'll go away after that. Once that's done, you'll shuffle in the 9 red skies cards here into the deck, and that gives you access to recruiting the mermaid here. So it says the 9 are all identical, of course, and it says gain 1 mystic energy. You may spend 3 mystic energy to recruit the mermaid. Here's the mermaid. You must place the mermaid on a flooded tile, and the Atlantean on a peninsula tile adjacent to the mermaid collects 1 mystic energy before taking its action. If a tile on the mermaid's peninsula floods, return her to the supply. And you'll have to gain her again, okay? These count as Calm Seas cards. You can use them to modify the game anyway, even if you're playing without this scenario. But they are necessary for this. Just like all the other stuff that's in the expansion here that you can use for the required scenario, or you can use it, for just modifying the game. You've got a lot of different cards now that you can utilize if you want to make the game harder, easier, if you want to play with the magic items, all of that stuff. You've also got the new characters, of course, and you can choose to play with these counselors if you want to. I'll give you a quick look at these, so move this out of the way here. You got your new counselors, your channeler there, artisan with new abilities, the adept, stormcaller, the alchemist. So you've got all these new characters, and then you've got new components as well that you can choose to use in the game by throwing them in. There's a bunch of them here, including the new E category. That is a brand new letter to the game, so you can choose to go with these if you want to kick up the difficulty again and make the whole thing a little bit harder. There's a lot of new ways to sort of change the difficulty of the game. This is one way in which you can do that. So there you go. That is just a few of the different moving parts in the expansion. Let's go ahead and go back up top. So there you go. That is what the expansion looks like. First, I'm going to talk about a couple of small negatives that I do have with it, and then I'll end up largely on a positive note because I do like this box. I'm a huge, huge fan of the original game. I should mention that up front. I think Atlantis Rising 2nd Edition is a spectacular cooperative game, and I think this box has a lot of interesting things in it. I do think, even though I am normally a fan of put a bunch of random pieces in a box and then pick and choose what you want, I do think that it hurts this product overall a little bit, and I do wonder if selling it piecemeal might not have been a good idea. It feels like some of these modules are so much that some feel like modules, some just kind of feel like promos. It's got that catch-all feel. And that makes it feel a little bit of it cheapens it slightly, okay? And again, these are nitpicks, by the way. I generally do like this box quite a bit. I also think it makes the game, if you have the expansion, harder to set up, figure out what you want to include, get it ready for the table, and it is going to push the game overall, that experience, because of some of the complexities with some of these modules. It's going to push it just outside of where I feel the game happily lives, in that sort of family plus weight, where you can bring people to the table, everybody can enjoy this fantastic artwork, the cooperation, the discussion, the luck that is inherent in this game. Well, it takes all that, which I do enjoy, and pushes it just a little bit so that there is more to worry about, more things happening, more moving parts. This is true of a lot of expansions. It just tends to be games that are at this weight, at this sort of level of complexity, that I think tend to suffer the most by getting an expansion. If you give me an expansion to a game that is already incredibly complex, a little bit more, a couple extra drops in the bucket shouldn't matter. This is a whole bunch else. And so it might make the game not feel the same anymore or be for the same audience anymore. Having said that, I generally do like the game. The look of the game is fantastic, as I already said. It fits right in with the original artwork. It is stunning. There's so much new, interesting looking creatures and cards and people in here that it's just fantastic. There is something in here for everyone, which is also nice. The flip side of that is you might end up liking, of the 8 things that are included, you might end up liking 3. But there is something in there for everyone. So you will find the module or the counselor, the whatever that speaks to you. That's good. And the content I do find is well thought out. It all coming together might not feel that way. And again, might feel like sort of, here's a box of stuff. But all of it is well thought out and well put together. I obviously have favorites, but it all was clearly developed and designed with very specific intent. Now, as far as what comes in the box, some of my favorite things, I'll go ahead and kind of rank these things. The new counselors are by far my favorite thing. I love having new characters you can play, and these are fantastic. There's a bunch in here that are just fun. They're engaging, they're interesting. They're not necessarily more complex than the ones in the original game either, which I really like. I like that there's still enough design space that they can make new ones that don't immediately feel like, oh, this is advanced mode. No, some of these are very easy to play with. So that's my main thing. The other new thing I really like is the new gate components. I think are wonderful. They let you change up the pieces you need to build the cosmic gate, and some of them favor lower player counts. And I applaud the company for that. I love playing this game with 2 or 3 players. And it was kind of hard to do that in the past. Some of these components make it a little bit easier. Really happy with that. And then I like the Harpies. Is my favorite one of those modules I showed you. The Harpies would be my favorite. Then I would say Medusa Unleashed after that. My least favorite is Skyla and Charybdis. That one, it didn't feel as engaging, as interesting to me, but the Harpies are by far I just love that thematic. They steal stuff, you got to climb up there and take it back from them, try to knock them out. I really like the way that feels, the way the theme of these Harpies coming and attacking and taking your stuff. I enjoy that. The extra cards to let you modify the deck are also really fun, and so you can just spend countless amount of time messing with the deck composition in this one. I love that stuff. I love that this game is, in my opinion, by far, the easiest game to modify the difficulty. If you play this and it's too easy, you can easily make it a little bit harder. You make it a lot harder. You can fine-tune until the game is perfect for you and your group. So there you go. For me, this one's going to get a strong 8 out of 10. It is getting dinged a little bit because, like I said, it does feel like a bunch of kind of promos in a box. I think people are going to find something to love in this box. I just worry that they're not going to enjoy all the parts of it. It's the nature of the beast when it comes to a game expansion that is piecemeal. And this is kind of that feeling. But I certainly recommend that if you enjoy the original game, you wouldn't mind some more complexity, and you want more content, more counselors, more pieces for the Cosmic Gate, more stuff, more toys. If you're someone who likes that treasure trove of toys kind of expansion, then this is a good one for sure. 8 out of 10, that is a seal of approval for the expansion to Atlantis Rising, Monstrosities. So that's going to do it, everybody. Thanks very much for watching. I appreciate it. My name is Z Garcia. I'm going to see you on the next one.